iPhone users are kind of like try to be like bougie people, in crowd type people. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying what I'm saying, man.
You about to step on the toe.
From the black women I see, they don't have that patience like that. You know what I'm saying? But white women, they'll take it on the chin.
Well, okay. Well, this is.
Any of y'all got the Trump Bible?
Or the
shoes? The man selling. The man. Let me tell you about Trump. One thing about Trump, he's a hustler, man. That boy Trump is a hustler. He will sell anything. A shoe, a stamp, a 3-cent lamp.
See, Nick, he took everything from me. I went from a place of living a life like this to oatmeal cookies.
No child born out of my loins will ever be born to poverty. That's what I'm working on right now.
As long as I got God on my side, the hater just gonna have to let me fly.
And welcome back to Overflow, the Everyday People Show, man. I'm your host, R to the L, and she's your co-host,
Jenny.
From the blog. What's up, Jenny? Today, y'all, we got a special show for y'all today, man. Well, it's not a special show. I just want to do a show where we just talking, shooting from the hip. We're gonna shoot from the hip today with a lot of questions that I have. You have questions that you ask yourself,
Mm-hmm.
and you keep to yourself and stuff like that. Like what?
And you wonder if someone else thinks the same thing.
Yeah, I just wanted other people to think the same way that I think. You know what I'm saying? That I know a lot of people saying, "Heck to the no," I don't think like. But listen, it ain't so bad to think like me, y'all. It ain't so bad to think like me. You know what I'm saying? So we got a lot of questions that we gonna ask. We hope y'all participate in the comment section. You know what I'm saying? Some spiritual questions, just some worldly questions, man. Just some questions that make us say,
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And we're just gonna chop it up, just me and you, like we talked yesterday. Like we had a little talk yesterday. We had a talk yesterday. And what we talked about?
It was a good talk about just being yourself, being honest, and being okay with being honest. When it's for the good, and just being transparent, so that everybody's happy.
Yeah, that's what it's all about, being happy, though, right?
Yeah. Yeah, like not
being
unafraid to talk about.
So what kind of stuff we talked about?
So
what kind of stuff we talked about?
Okay, so I remember, like I think when I had come home from work, I was like, I don't feel like doing nothing. I said something on the lines, I don't feel like doing nothing, because I was trying to figure out if I wanted to work out or not, and I think you had already worked out, and I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and do it, even though I would prefer this particular day for us to work out together. But I was like, I don't feel like it, but I'm gonna go ahead and do it. Because sometimes when you work out by yourself, it's it's okay, but it's nice when you have somebody like motivating you, saying, hey, you got it and all this stuff. And I think I just had to be real honest and say, I don't feel like doing nothing. Yeah. And you was like, it's okay to not.
Yeah, it's okay
to do anything.
It's okay. Like sometimes, I understand. Like couples, we want to do things together, but sometimes I be want to. Like I was telling her, I want to reserve the right. So what are y'all thoughts on this? I wanted to reserve. So we planned to do stuff together, like work out and eat meals together. But sometimes I be want to just do something else. You know what I'm saying? Just
and I do too.
at the spur of, exactly. At the spur of the moment, I be want to do something else. You know what I'm saying? But she like to do a lot of stuff together. She's the type of person like to plan stuff.
I am a planner. And it's not about being confined to, we got to do it like this. Everything got to be like XYZ. It's more about because I'm a planner at heart, consistency and commitment to something keeps me in a place of discipline. because if I fall off, I fall off bad. Either I'm gonna do it all like I need to, I'm gonna just be like, forget it. But it was a transparent, honest conversation that really helped me because I was like, yeah, because even though I'm I, I'm like this and I'm always sometimes I don't feel like it. And you was like, it's okay.
Yeah,
It's okay to feel like that. And I was glad we had that conversation
it's okay
because
to don't feel like doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because
right.
sometimes I feel like I said I don't want to do nothing, even though That's why I don't like to really plan stuff. So
Yeah.
you a planner, and I'm a like a spur of the moment type person,
Yeah.
and I do that for a reason because I don't like to lock myself into
Right. Just
in a position to
because you
where
might want to
I'm
change.
beholden to somebody else,
Right.
what somebody else want me to do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Because I feel like this is my life. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And I feel like I should be able to do whatever I want to do when I want to do it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all please share this live. Listen. And please, if y'all feeling what I'm, who y'all feeling the most? You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I'll do that. Look, personalities are what they are. I can't help it. I like all my ducks in a row. But at the end of the day, when you are with someone and you learn how to grow and adapt and change, not be yourself, but change for the better in adapting because I've lived different eras of my life, if I can say that, where I've had it all one way, and then everything was spontaneous, and then now I'm kind of like going through another phase of okay, a lot more spontaneity, but working keeps me in the kind of schedule that I have keeps me in a place of this needs to be done, this needs to be done, so things are in order, so things turn out like it needs to get something accomplished. And so I've always had that personality, but at the end of the day, I still am a spontaneous person because I can pick up a bag, be like, hey, let's go do this, let's go do that. But then I factor in if I'm tired, I may not feel like doing anything. And so that's where we had the conversation where it was like, you was like, if you don't feel like doing nothing, then don't.
Then don't.
And
You know what I'm saying?
I was like, thank you, because I'm about to
Because see,
I'm about
look,
to take a long
yeah,
bath
because the
and do
work,
nothing.
because the worst thing we can do is go through our life to please other people all the
Right.
time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even if it's a spouse or
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, girlfriend, even if it can be your mama, it can be your daddy. You don't want to get in the position to where you feeling some kind of way because
Right.
you lock yourself into
Right.
what you told this
routine.
person you were gonna do into a routine.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of times you be saying when you be saying like I don't give you time to prepare for nothing. Like somebody might be having it might be a homegoing service or somebody having a party, and I might not tell Jen till like the day before or the day of.
2 hours before.
No, it be at least. Now it don't be no 2 hours.
I'm
Now, come on now.
messing with you.
I might tell her that if it's a party that night, I might tell her that
Yeah.
earlier that day,
Yeah.
and she'll be like, "I would have loved to have a warning, something to let me know." But I can't tell you.
Yeah.
I can't tell you something that I don't know because
Yeah.
I'm not locking myself in. I'm not.
Right. And
Yeah.
I learned that about you because sometimes and this comes with when you always tell people, yeah, I'm gonna be there. Yeah, I'm gonna be there. And then once you say it, if you care about your word, whether you feel like it or not, you go.
Exactly.
And sometimes, and I had to learn this, is a reason why you don't like say right away to whoever that I'm gonna do this or do that
Hey,
enough
Lisa.
in time to
Ladies.
tell me. So and so
Larry
I
Love,
get it
what's up,
now.
man?
Hey y'all.
And listen, y'all, we if this is the Everyday People show. So if you guys want to come on and chop it up with us, this show, I created this show for everyday people, man, to come on and just let their hair down and say what they want to say. Even though we be on it most of the time, we running our mouths, but like I said, you know,
I like this though. I like this conversation that we're putting out there because it's about growth and it's about adaptation to someone else. I guess that's the right way to put it.
Yeah.
And that's maturity because you have to learn a person and to understand why they do what they do. And because you can perceive something wrong, because at first I'd be like, well, I need to know. So if we go into this, I need to go get a card. I need to make sure I have the proper attire. Because as women, we have to deal with shoes. We got to deal with, whatever to make sure we're not overdressed, underdressed, however.
Yeah,
And so it took me a minute to understand after, but it didn't even take a minute. It took a conversation. That's what it took. And when you
yeah,
told me, I was like, okay, I get it and I respect it. And so now it's kind of put me in a place where I just always have something ready. So whatever, it's like, okay, I'm good to go. And then, we talked about like if I don't feel like it or if I'm tired, it's okay to say no. So
it's okay to say no.
right. And
You know what
so
I'm saying?
and so so
Because sometimes I don't like it. Sometimes I feel like you go places with me because you feel like you have to.
no,
You have to.
no, I
You
don't
have
feel
to
that way.
represent me. You know what I'm saying?
I don't feel that. I don't feel like I have to, because have to sounds like um I don't know
Like
what that.
I'm forcing you to do
Yeah,
something.
have to is not the word I would use. It's more like I do it because I want to. You're a part of my life. I'm a part of your life. Like there are things that may happen with my family that you've been supportive, like with funerals, stuff like that, weddings and things. And so it's like if you are 10, that's support. I think when it's something that is really a
Hey,
situation that the
Moretta.
person don't feel like it, then you're more like, and feel like it doesn't mean you don't care. It's just like it could have been a long day. It may not feel good or something like that. And so I think for me, it's just always been about, I don't mind because I'm a people person, as quiet as I can be, personality wise. I am a people person. I like to support people. I've always been that way. That's just in my nature. So the reality is, this conversation was that being transparent. If I don't feel like it's okay, and you won't feel no kind of way if I say, well, I don't feel like it, because you'll tell me kind of like in the most nicest way, um, I don't feel like it, or I'm gonna do this, or I'm gonna do that, and it's
Yeah.
okay, because then that opens up space for me to be like, okay, I'm gonna go do this, because I'll take that opportunity to go handle something that I need to handle. And it's balance, and it's about just being honest in the most loving way, because I don't think there is one way to be. I think you have a personality, I have a personality, we have differences. But we had a conversation with about a year ago where it's like, when you get to our age, and when you've already been in previous marriages or relationships, whatever, that were major, you learn how to meet a person where they are and then adapt, because you really like the person, then you grow to love them. And the common beliefs, or the I would say the mindset that you have that connects you, or the spiritual connection, all the other stuff is just habits, you know, adapting to habits, learning and growing how to be better, and just, it's not a bad thing. Hey, it's not a bad thing. I think when people start trying to say, oh, you're changing somebody, that's when it's a bad thing. And I think we got on the same page of, it's just being honest and learning, so that there is no of feeling offended, you know what I'm saying? you
Yeah,
know
you're right. Yeah. So
so we had a really good
yeah, we
conversation.
had
Like,
a good conversation
I
yesterday.
felt really good about it. I did, because I've gotten to a point in my life where being mature is what shows that you're growing. Because I don't care if you live to be 100 years old, you're gonna learn up until the last day of your life. So if you're with someone, you're gonna grow, and growing means they learn about you, and and you learn about them. It's it's a good thing when you're mature, in meaning you don't get in your
Yeah.
feelings, and you just be like, oh, this is just the way I am, and just how you met me. And it's not even about that. It's about um what you love about the person, and then understanding what you love about the person, and then blending it
Exactly.
together.
Yeah.
So
So
yeah.
let me give a couple shout outs. Miss Diane, Al, Al Middleton, Miss Shadina, Larry Love, Letitia Beatty, Charlotte, Gloria Town, Melvin Davis, Lisa Davis, Big Bo Parker, Angela Moretta,
Hey, y'all.
Alton, that boy Charisma in the building, Fernando, Darryl Sherman, what's up? How y'all doing? What's going on? Catherine Walker, I sent you Catherine Walker, I know you said you wanted to come on. I sent you the link if you want to come on and chop it up with us. But we're going to get into these questions that we have, man. Y'all can play along with us if y'all love to. At the end of this podcast, we're gonna talk a little bit about the movie Sinners. I don't know if y'all know about the movie Sinners. We watched it on Fire Stick last night.
It was
We
good,
cheated.
though.
we cheated and watched it on Fire Stick last night, but it was a good movie, man. The movie had a lot of nuggets in it that you got to catch. If you,
From the very
some
beginning.
people, some of y'all, you might have to watch this movie twice
Yeah.
to catch what they're talking about. The movie, it's a movie, but it has hidden messages in it
From the very beginning.
from the very beginning. From the very
first
beginning.
scene. Like,
And so I do recommend the movie Sinners. Y'all go. Ryan Coogler, he's a black guy. He's the director, so y'all go support the brother at the movie theater, which we should have did. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
But we found a good copy on the.
I found it. I was like,
Yeah,
hey.
on the. Yeah, we
Bo
found a good
said
copy.
that's what he want to talk about. He want to talk about it. So maybe we'll add a little bit more time.
Yeah, so
We'll
yeah,
speak about it.
gonna that's what I want to talk about. Yeah, we're gonna talk about Sinners toward the end, Bo. But we got some couple of questions we just gonna talk about. Just random question, man. Stuff that you be thinking about that, you know. So let's get into it. Y'all please share this live and thank y'all for tuning in. Those who are tuning in, thank you. Please share the live. So the first question I had is how do you recognize and move in your purpose? Like you hear a lot of people talking about I'm on my purpose. How do you know that you're on your purpose? Is it a skill set you have, or is it a God-given gift? Say like I sing, so I guess I feel like I'm moving in my purpose. So what? No, I'm saying what is moving in your purpose, and how do you know if you own your purpose? I mean, y'all feel free to answer this question too. Like, inquiring minds want to know. So,
I think people recognize, or at least I would think most of us recognizes it when it comes easy for us. And when I say easy, meaning it's natural. Like you do it
good,
effortlessly.
that's a good.
You don't even have to think about it. You can do it with your eyes closed, and you feel fulfilled when you do it. Like you just have this feeling like I was, you're made for it because you don't have to go to school for it. Nobody had to really like tell you. Like you get some nuggets along the way to help you, but it's just in you. Like you just can't help it, and you're just great at it.
Yeah, because people ask me, who taught you how to sing? I never was in the school chorus and nothing like that. It was just something that I just started doing. You know what I'm saying? Because when I was young, I remember I used to tell you, I used to like say, I don't know about y'all. I don't know how old y'all live, but I used to sit in front of the. I used to go downstairs when I was young, like 10, like 8, 9, or 10, and listen to the Casey Kasem Top 40. Used to come on what station is Z93? Used to come on Z93. I remember the station Z93. I used to go down there and listen to Casey Kasem every Saturday morning. Listen to Casey Kasem, and I try to sing like those artists, which wasn't a whole lot of soul artists on there. So
yeah, it was a variety for sure.
So that's a good answer. So what do y'all think? How do y'all think you're moving in your purpose, and how do you recognize that you're moving in your purpose? You know, so how do you get into your purpose and move in it?
And I think you have to have a love for it. Like, and because you can know how to do something, but it doesn't mean you love it. You know what I'm saying? Like I went to school to do hair. I went to cosmetology school when I was in my early 20s. And I remember I did very well in school. I won, first place, second place in hair shows. I can remember just working in a really, really good hair salon where it was the top name people. I can remember passing my state board the first time I took barbering, so I know how to cut hair. But the thing about it was, it wasn't my passion. I could do it. I have the skills, but it wasn't. I didn't feel fulfilled. It was just something to do. And then I worked alongside with this guy who he could not. He was honest with me. He could not pass his state board to save his life. He took it 3 times and failed it all 3 times. But he was like one of the best hairstylist in Atlanta. So for me, I was like, I passed the test the first time and I ain't even feeling it like that. Which my point is you don't have to have papers to be qualified to be in your purpose. It may have you certified, but that doesn't mean you're not qualified. So I just remember thinking, this is not my purpose. Being a hairstylist, I can do hair, but it's not my purpose. Like, it's not it. This ain't it. So you know what I'm saying? Like, I think when you feel fulfilled, when you like it, you love it, and it's just you can't help it, that's when you know.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. Because sometimes I just go downstairs and just sing to myself, and
Mhm.
and a lot of time I post it on social media, because I just be having fun. It's just something I like to do, sing, you know. So I guess that's my purpose. You know what I'm saying? And people call on you. And the thing about it, people call me to sing for them. And mostly at funerals. You know what I'm saying? Which is something that puzzles me. Like, you know what I'm saying?
it shouldn't puzzle you.
I'm not saying it puzzles me in the sense that, you know what I'm saying?
You have a comforting voice. I'm just complimenting you. You have a comforting voice. And again, you can sing, you have the skill. And there are a lot of people that can sing, but that doesn't mean it's their purpose. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, I can go back to, again, I knew how to do hair and I did it well, but it wasn't my purpose. So it became a hobby for me. I started just doing people hair on the side just to, you know, hey girl, I'll do your hair just to make a few extra dollars, or just to do it for free, because it was just not I wasn't fulfilled in it. I knew how to do it. So there are people who may call upon you to sing at a funeral because there's power in your spirit and when you deliver the songs. So
Hmm.
I'm not puzzled as to why you may get requested or asked to sing in times of someone's grief. I'm not surprised.
Yeah, both say, well, for me, my purpose is aligned with my gifts. When God gives you gifts and talent, you should use
Right.
it and share it. I love making folks laugh, smile, feel good about themselves. Your passion and purpose fuse you,
Yep.
comes naturally and not forced. Absolutely, bro. That's a good question, man. I mean, that's a good answer, man. I think we should put that answer in the dictionary.
Yeah.
We're gonna put your
Yeah.
answer in the dictionary, bro. When you answered the question, we got to move on to the next question. Then,
I mean, he answered it. I was thinking
yeah,
what
he
he was saying.
he answered that question very,
Yeah.
very well, man. Look at Bo. Bo, we gonna let you take name when the class when we out.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. What he said, it's like you can sing, and a lot of people can sing, but your purpose is in some of the singing that you do is to comfort people.
Mm.
It's to make them feel some sense of peace in their grief. So again, it's you move in it. It's the gift and the talent, and it gives you purpose. Your purpose is to help people, uplift people, like the other music you make, which we kind of like label like conscious music. Is cerebral. Like
Yeah,
you cause people
all the
to
music,
think, make people better.
all the music I make is really spiritual music.
Yeah.
I just my new album, I just put spiritual music in more of a I won't say secular songs. I just sing it to make
Every
it
day, like
more
the everyday
palatable.
stuff.
I just
Yeah.
say palatable,
Yeah.
palatable,
Palatable.
palatable.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
that's your purpose. You use your gift for that purpose to uplift people, to inspire people, um, to just, make them feel good and to know that, we all in this world together, we're gonna make it. Like you have this grace to do in your songs what maybe somebody can't say with words. So
hmm
I totally agree with what Bo said. I mean, he perfectly said it. So, yeah.
So the next question, I'm gonna let you start this next. I'm like everybody else. I be on the internet and I came across a guy who said some people are saved but they're not delivered, and that made me think. What I mean, I didn't get that. Can you maybe can y'all explain to me what the difference between saved and delivered? You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'll start off, and I'll love to see comments. So I think what I understand, being saved means that you are given the grace to not suffer the ultimate penalty of this lifetime of sin. Like, you there's an ending to this lifetime, and the saving is I've been saved from the penalty of just total, you know, um, eternal destruction because over the course of my life, I did the did the work. I asked for forgiveness. I tried because nobody is perfect. You're gonna mess up. That's why God gives us this opportunity every morning to, start over. He says, "My mercies are brand new and tender every morning." So you get up, but you're supposed to get a little bit better, more and more every day. Deliverance, I think, is when um you're maybe you have a stronghold on you, or you have um like a bad like habit, or you're like spiritually held captive in something, and being delivered from it is just that you're delivered from that thing. um Deliverance leads to that constant over your lifetime deliverance from certain things, and many things leads to your ultimate salvation. um, because repentance is just turning away, and when you are going through things that you on your own can't do, God graces you and helps you to come out of it. You can take somebody who like goes to jail, and they constantly in and out of prison, but then somebody may get them out, or they have a chance to get out. But if they're not fully delivered from that lifestyle, they'll get out and go right back in, and then people are looking around like, wait, didn't he just get out, or didn't she just get out? And some people are just trapped, and they're in this bondage where even though they've been set free from that imprisonment physically, they go right back in the streets and do the same thing. They get them right
So
back
you
in
weren't
there.
saved then,
So
right?
they weren't delivered at that point. Saved is when you get to a point where after all of your deliverances over your life, because we're talking about it in the spiritual sense, right? So if you get delivered from, just say, and I'm just throwing stuff out there, if you get delivered from smoking cigarettes, if you feel like that's a sin, you get delivered from that. Okay, it may have taken 4 years, but you've been delivered from that. Some people struggle with unforgiveness, and if you are an unforgiving person, it doesn't mean it's easy, but you get delivered from it at some point, and you may have to deal with it again when you get hurt again. But deliverances are when you come out. I believe it's when you come out of these strongholds, being just held captive to something that you're like, oh my God, if it wasn't for God, I would still be this person. And salvation, which is, again, I guess saved is a short term for it. You're just in a place of you're not going to suffer the ultimate penalty, which is utter destruction in the afterlife. You've come to a point where every day you get up, you look up, and you look for God to help you grow and come through the sins in your life, because we all go through it. We're born into sin nature. I mean, you can have issues with gossip. You could be sitting in the seat of gossipers, and that's not good. So you find yourself, going to God to be delivered from all these things that we wouldn't be if we weren't born into sin nature. So salvation is, I would think, is kind of like at the end, because when people say they're saved and they just live a hellacious life, and I hope I say this right.
I think people go to church say I'm saved.
Well,
But here's my thing: who are you to say don't God ain't God the judge? If
he
God
is.
if
He
God the
is.
judge, how can anybody say I'm saved?
And this is what I'm
And I
saying.
just
That's why I say it comes at the end. Because and it's okay to say you're saved, because if you speak it, then by God, if he says,
Let me
that
bring
you'll
Mr. Larry Love in here
yeah,
real quick.
if God says speak things that be not as though they were, and that you're supposed to speak over yourself, there's nothing wrong with saying I'm saved, but the work of repentance, meaning you turn away, you ask God to help you turn away from things. Sometimes it's a process, sometimes it can happen overnight. But I think at the end is when a person will really know if they were saved from that ultimate utter destruction at the end. So I think deliverance is it's a lifetime of deliverance. I don't think anybody ever just gets to a point when they're like, "Oh, I'm delivered from everything." No, it's a lifetime of growing, changing, recognizing I got a problem and asking God to help you. And then I think if you said I've saved enough, you might just make it because you
No,
constantly said
you
it.
can't.
But you got to do the work.
You can't make your you this
No,
this
you know what I'm
you
saying.
can't be like
I'm
Trump.
saying-
You can't tell a lie and people believe it. No,
No,
you know what I'm
you
saying.
know what I'm
You can
saying.
tell a
Like,
lie
I'm
that people
trying
can
to
believe it, but you can't make God believe your lie.
no,
One
no,
thing
no.
about
God,
God.
trust me, you cannot fool God, right?
So
You
you
can't
so
fool
you
God because when you get to the end, either He's gonna say to you,
so
"Well
you can't
done."
so you can't just
Thou
say
good.
you can say you saved
You can say
until
it
you
to
believe
yourself. You can say it to
it. No,
yourself
it ain't.
and make it happen.
Let's
Like
play Larry. Larry Law, what's going on, my brother? I
I'm
don't.
saying, it's speaking positive. Like I'm not saying braggadocious, like Gorman. Oh, I'm saved. I'm saved. I'm not saying like that. You can. It's like if you think it, then your life may play out that way because you'll go to God, you'll look to Him and say, I got issues with this, and you really do the
I don't hear you. I don't hear your you got your sound on, Larry?
Yeah, I hear you.
No, 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 it's okay.
We see you, but I don't hear your sound.
Can you hear me?
Y'all in them iPhones, I tell you, man.
Start that.
You can hear me, right?
Nah, he's trying to get
We
his
can't.
voice capability because I can't hear him either. I
We
don't
can't
know.
You
hear
can
you. You
hear
might
me?
have to go out and come back in.
But
Okay.
I'm gonna say this real quick because I want him to be able to come in and jump and say what he wants to say. But I
I
think
think deliverance is your being what that is
it says I think deliverance is you're not being
susceptible
susceptible to
to
that
that
sin
sin.
or shortcoming that was plaguing you. Absolutely, because being delivered means it's no longer in you, and it's you're delivered from it. You're not struggling with that same thing. Sometimes,
Both say he heard him. So I don't know.
oh well, maybe it's
Yeah,
on our
maybe he got
end.
some. Maybe it's
Can you
some.
hear me now? Can you hear me?
Let me check my settings or something. Audio. Let me see. Mic, headphone. Let me see.
Can you hear me now?
You,
I hear him now.
okay. We hear you
Yeah,
now. It was on
yeah.
All
our
right.
end.
What's up? How y'all doing?
We're great. How
Good,
are
my brother. How
you?
you doing?
Yeah, I got your message. So I said, me and my wife was sitting here. I said, let me chime in and see what they talking about.
Yeah, man. Tell everybody who you is first, man. Before you start chiming in, Mr. Larry Love of the Larry Love Show.
I'm just
Tell
Larry
everybody
Love,
who you
man.
are and what you do though, man. You do something, man. Don't play with me, man. Don't come in here talking about you just Larry Love. Come on, man.
I'm, I'm just Larry Love from the Larry Love Show on Peach Stars TV. Got 6 episodes on there. Getting ready to start my second season next month. Also, Larry Love Prostate Cancer Awareness Foundation, where we feed the homeless and the needy every Thursday. We've been doing that since 2017. I now have 3 drivers, including my well, me is 4 if I go out there and pick up food and take it to whoever needs it. That's the Larry Love Prostate Cancer Awareness Foundation. And then I said the Larry Love Show on Peach Stars TV. Also, my wife and I we're starting up the 4LL 4LL rent properties. Uh, Everything look like it's going good. I'll be closing on a property in Orlando, Florida, starting my real estate stuff, doing that, and so everything is good, man.
Yeah, so y'all follow Larry Love, man, and go to Peach Stars app. You can download it on your phone for like I think like $4.99 for a whole year. You know what I'm
For a whole
saying?
year, yeah.
And check out Larry's shows, man. he did some interviews with some of the movers and shakers of Atlanta, man. I know he did one. It's an MC Lightfoot.
Yeah, yourself,
Yeah,
MC
I heard that one.
Lightfoot.
Yeah, that was a funny
Yeah.
one. The rest.
Hey, yourself, MC Lightfoot, a wonderful comedian named Sweet Baby Keita. Did her, did my man who's all over the place, Jason J Boy Carey. He's a host. He's a karaoke person, man. J Boy J Carey does a lot of stuff. So I'm getting ready for the second season, and got a nice lineup. You know, it's not all about celebrities. I'm going to do a mental health show, talking about PTSD, you know, and all that stuff. Got some interesting people, and also, last but not least, I'm one of the ambassadors of this new cognac alcohol called Cashmere Lux Gold. Have you
Hey,
been looking
what's
on
up, man?
Facebook?
It sounds very rich.
It's a very elegant,
You,
exquisite
Yeah.
taste.
you need to let me
Uh,
sample it, then, man. You know what I'm
oh, oh, oh,
saying?
okay, yeah, it's very light. It's not your regular liquor. It's very light and mild. It has no bite to it, so when it goes down your throat, you don't frown or nothing. It has no bite. It has African Uganda grape essence in it, so you
Mhm.
might think it's a wine, but it's not a wine. It's 80 volume, 80 proof. The owners, I gotta give them a shout out. Daryl and Sean. Some of y'all might know them. They're celebrity chefs. They call themselves two chefs plus a pan. If you don't know who they are, they cook for celebrities, and they came up with their own cognac brand. And if you've seen on social media, the bottle is a special made bottle. And when you see the label is in the glass. So when you put it up, put it in the refrigerator, it won't tear off. The label's in the glass. And this liquor bottle has a wine screw top specifically made for that bottle. So when you open it and then you put it back, the liquor keep aging.
Mm.
It's called Cashmere Lux Gold. It's on the ground floor. It's they're in some stores in Washington D.C. and Baltimore, the distilleries in North Carolina, but they live here, and so they're on the ground floor. And we're looking for reps. We're looking for reps who might want to get in on this ground floor. You never know what might happen. Cognac might come and buy it from them. So if you want any more information, just hit me up at lovecation12@gmail.com.
All
Sounds
right, my
good.
brother. Good things going on over your way,
Sounds
man.
good.
You know what I'm saying? And welcome to the show, man. Listen, y'all don't forget to share this live, man. We just got we was on a topic, we just got some question, man. We just putting out, man. And the last one
Hey,
we
I'm
was on
sorry. Can
right
I
now
say
is
something else?
yeah, go
Can I
ahead.
say? Got to give a shout out to my manager, Miss Moretta Ross, resident media. Got to
I've
give
heard
her a
of
shout
her.
out.
I've heard of
Yeah,
her.
yeah.
I've
Got to
heard
give her a
of
shout out. Got to give her a shout out.
she gonna like, oh, you both talking about he heard of her. But anyway, man, yeah. So we was tackling these questions, man. So the second question is there's a difference between saved and delivered? Because everybody's people go to church 2 years, they say they saved. You know what I'm saying?
I don't. I can't. I'm kind of. I don't like that I came in on this one.
Let me
I,
say this. I'm the type of person I don't like to speak for God. I think when people say I'm saved, I think you out of pocket. I think who are you to say you're saved? You know what I'm saying? Now I believe you can be delivered from something, but I don't think we can say we saved because we're not the judge. If we can say we saved, then we don't need God. You know what I'm saying? If
And so that's at the
that's my
end,
take on it.
which was like kind of like what I was saying. You find out at the end
Yeah,
because
but
we sometimes we can think, and then there are scriptures that point this out, or there were examples given. There are going to be people that say, "Oh, I did this, I did that, I did this and that," and He gonna be like, "Depart from me."
man, you're gonna be surprised how many
So,
people gonna be in hell, man.
so, so
I'm
I
not gonna
get
be
it.
surprised.
I hope I ain't
get-
gonna be that, but let me make. I'm gonna say this.
Jealous
Say
is
somebody
subject.
like somebody like I say Geno Jennings. A lot of people like him. A lot of people like what he say. He preaches out the Bible, but I don't think he's delivered. I don't think he's a delivered man. Because a delivered man would never attack another person. Because because to be a delivered man will always make sure he's in check before he check another man. So I don't. So even though he knows the Bible, but he's not a delivered man. You know what I'm saying? I think, to me, I think he do more harm to the kingdom of God than any other preacher. I think he do more harm. That's my opinion.
His delivery of the word is not seasoned with grace. Like he can be kind of mean with it. So it's not like it wouldn't make a person feel like I can do this. Like I don't feel so much shame. It's okay to be convicted, but you don't want to feel shame. And I think the way he delivers his messages makes people feel shameful. Like I just don't want to hear it no more. You know, it's a way to present the word. And I think he just is harsh. It's extremely harsh. And you can offend people that way, even though he's telling the truth and he's saying the right things. You have to say it in a way that makes a person feel like there's hope for them, you know, because it's tough when you battle with certain things.
But how do you say he's telling the truth when it's all what we get on? Most of the stuff we learn it on the internet. We just going by. Most people go by what they say on the internet. You know what I'm saying? They don't really know the truth. They're just going by what they're hearing. You know what I'm saying? But that's just my take on it. Larry, what's your take on it, man? You know, ain't no right or wrong answer. It's your answer.
I think the first thing that you did when you said I don't think he's delivered. It ain't really for you to think about that.
Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? But
I don't like to get
Go ahead.
into. I kind of wish I'd have came in on the. I'm just being honest. Kind of wish I'd have came in on the other thing that y'all were talking about. I don't really like to get into church stuff, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't go to church anymore. I don't have a problem with going to church. I will go to church. So I don't. And I know that I have a personal relationship with the Lord that I believe in, and my wife and I are evenly yoked. We believe the same thing. I see on emails where my wife still sends money to the church. Don't have a problem with that. Um, I have a personal relationship. I'm always talking to what I believe, who I believe in, and over on this end, I have been very, very, very blessed. My family, my life, my wife. I've been so blessed that I am so thankful to wake up every morning and to be retired after 34 years of government service and to be able to still get up and hopefully looking forward to this birthday that's coming up in July. So only thing I can say is I'm not going to say anything about no preachers or nobody, no nothing. I wish them well. I hope that they're speaking and doing the right thing. But hey, the if they believe in the same Lord that I believe in, they'll find out. I used to speak on that stuff. I stay away from that because I go out and I help people. I've been doing that ever since I was a kid. And I'll just tell you this. There was a young man that called me one day. He said, "Hey, man, I just want to talk to you for a minute." I said, "What's going on?" He said, "Do your friends know that you feed people? Like you really feed people on a consistent basis?" I said, "Well, I don't really talk about it." I said, "I'm not trying to get famous, or I'm not trying to get
Right.
clout because I'm helping somebody." I said, "I'm not. That's not why I do it." And he said, "Well, I just want to tell you something because you say you don't read the Bible. You know, you say you don't." He said, "Did you know that Jesus fed people before he did any miracles? He fed people." I said, "Yeah, kind of know it, didn't know it." He said, "Well, I'm here to tell you, I say to you that Jesus, he fed people before he did any miracles." He said he's looking down on you and he see that you are feeding his people. He said, "I've always wanted to tell you, man, all these blessings that I've been witnessing that you've been getting and receiving." He said he's looking down on you and he's watching you and you're feeding his people on a consistent basis. And he said, and I wish all your friends knew that because I've been doing it since 2017. We go to this center and we pick up food every Thursday, 4 times a month, and we take it and give it away. And so I'm gonna leave it right there. A lot of people scream, like you said, "I'm saved. I go to church. I go to Sunday school. I do this. I do." You know, people do a lot of talking, man. And
Yeah.
I just leave that where that is, because if you believe in the Lord that I believe in, He believes in action.
Yes.
So I just leave it right there, and I'm gonna stay in my lane, do what I'm told to do. Last but not least, there was a preacher said something to me about when I met him at my friend's house. Hey man, I want you to do this. Can you come by here? I said, sir, I'm doing what the Lord told me to do. I said, you go do what you do. I said, I don't go get food to bring it to the church for people in cars to come by and we give it to them. I said, my assignment, what I'm told to do, is go out in the street and give it away to people. I said, so I'm gonna keep doing that. I'm not gonna do what you just said. I said, my giving is more personable. I go out and give it to the person.
Mm,
And I
yeah,
left it at that. And he said, I respect that. He said, he told me you were like that. I said, I'm gonna keep doing what the Lord is telling me to do. And I don't care what anybody say about some church, about this, about that. I don't even care now, because coming out of prostate cancer, hey, it could have went another way. The doctor could have said, hey man, there's nothing else we can do for you. Your days are numbered. It could have been anything. So I'm just happy that I'm alive. I'm married, be 28 years this year. Kids are healthy and doing good. And I'm learning to leave a lot of stuff alone that I don't know about.
yeah.
I
And,
love
and,
that.
and I and
Yeah.
I and I totally agree with you, and I totally agree with you. But you know how you have this, you be having, but you have thoughts in your head. This show really was a thought in the head type show. You know what
I
I'm
know,
saying?
I know, I
And
know.
it be stuff you be saying. You know how you hear stuff, you be in your head. You got a thought about it. You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah,
can't help
but
but
see,
have a
Robert,
thought
but
about stuff.
Robert, but Robert, I'm the type of person I'm gonna say. See, that's why I don't like my friends to ask me stuff, because I'm gonna say the truth. Like if a person come up to you in the shopping center and say, "How you doing? Let me give you this flyer to my church." A lot of people will grab the flyer, look
Yeah,
at it and say, "Okay," and they go in their car. I don't do that, Robert.
you don't
I
accept
say,
it.
no. I say, sir, because this has actually happened to me. I said, sir, I'm not going to take your flyer. He said, why? I said, because I'm probably not coming to your church, sir. I'm not going to lie to you. Most people are not going to that person's church.
Right. Right.
So I'm not going to sit up there and lie. I don't know you. I'm probably not coming to your church, and I understand advertising. I'm not going to take your paper, throw it in my car, and throw it away. So I simply say, "Sir, I'm probably not coming to your church." And he said, "Thank you for being honest," and I walked off.
Yes. And that's the best way to
Yeah,
be.
that's a good way. So we're gonna move on to the next question. You got some more to say? I saw you about to say something.
Nah, man, I'm just having fun with you guys.
Okay, the next question is, why is it so hard for people to forgive? And I came up with this question because I was talking to a guy. We go to the park. You get a whole lot of conversation. I was talking to a guy who was upset because um, his brother hasn't talked to him in a minute. But instead of him, so we got into this conversation. So I was saying, so why can't you go to him? You know what I'm saying? I'm saying, like, I feel like when I forgive people, I feel like I feel a certain power. I feel like I obtain some kind of power. Every time I forgive somebody, I feel like I don't obtain some kind of power. I don't know what kind of feeling it is, but I feel like I get the power when I forgive people who either done me wrong or made me feel some kind of way. You know what I'm saying? So I was telling him, man, just go ahead and forgive your brother, man, and move forward with your life. You know what I'm saying? I don't blame that. I don't blame that Negro. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, so you willing to you willing to go the rest of your life without a relationship with your brother because a way he made you feel? So that's my take on it. You know what I'm saying? So I have no problem forgiving people, not forgetting, but forgiving.
Right. Yeah. And I think forgiveness is something that is we're commissioned to do that because we have to be forgiven too,
Mhm.
for things that we do wrong. Everybody has done something that somebody had to forgive you for. So I think when it comes down to people who maybe struggle with it it just some people just maybe have a hard time just letting it's almost like they may feel like this person is getting away with it because I forgive them, but then they still keep acting a certain way, and so they struggle with it. That's the only thing I can think of why it may be difficult for people. um if it's like a redundant offense, like somebody just keep, you forgive them over and over, which you should forgive. But then the not forgetting part, I think, is for your benefit to make better decisions. If a person keeps stealing from you, you don't keep going around them. You can forgive them 20 times, but if wisdom says just stop being around them, you know, you don't
Yeah.
forget so that you can make better decisions, not remember to hold on to it to have a hard heart. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Yeah, I had a hard time with that at one time, but I I let my forgiveness show with my actions. Not going to put anybody's name out there or anything, but I'm learning how to not respond to certain things. I'm learning not to get in conversations that I don't supposed to be in. Because a lot of times somebody come and tell you something and you listening to it, and then I'm now talking to Robert about it. And when it gets back to that person, it's like, well, Larry said this. Larry ain't said nothing. I heard somebody talk about something, so me and Robert talking about it, and then now I'm in something, and I was in something that I wasn't supposed to be in, and I was really mad with that person and didn't want to talk to that person no more, and didn't want to have nothing to do with that person. But you know what I said? Man, I'm gonna let that go. And I saw that person when I went over somebody's house. That person was there. When I gave everybody dap in the house, I gave that person dap, hugged it up. But what you do is you just be careful in everything when you're around that person. You just watch what you say, and stuff like that. I didn't not talk to him or engage in conversation when everybody was gazing. I engaged that person in conversation, but I just know when I'm around that person, just be careful. Don't say certain stuff. Don't get into stuff because that same person start talking to me about somebody else's business the other day. And I'm gonna tell y'all, I was sitting there. I was sitting there looking at him, and I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything. I really wasn't listening, and I kept on kicking it with everybody. And sometimes you just and that's how I forgive. I don't probably go up and say I forgive you because the person probably already know how I feel, and they probably surprised that I came up and still spoke to them. But that's how you do it. You come up, you speak, what's up, what's up, what's up, and like she said, you know what not to do next time.
Hmm. Yeah. So your forgiveness is not it's not a word thing. It just
Showing.
you just move in action. So that person really felt you were done with that. You know what I'm saying? With
Yeah, see,
just
a
your
lot of
actions
times,
of
a lot of times, man, I'll play you to the left. See, I like people, and then sometimes I don't like people. I'm an introvert, outrovert. So a lot of time when I'm not talking, people think something is wrong because Larry Love is not talking. Sometimes I don't want to talk. I'm just sitting there listening to people. Sometimes I'm tired of talking. I don't want to talk. I'm just listening to people. See, I'm a people watcher too. I watch people. It's fun watching people, man. People are fascinating to watch. And and so people are
Yeah.
fascinating to watch and fascinating to listen to because that's why when I first started my show, your opinion matters. Because I'm gonna tell you, people have some opinions, man, that you just think that it's just stupid, but it's their opinion. I mean, it's their opinion. So and you just go, wow, man, we all really think different. So um, man, I play
like,
people to the
like, like,
left.
like, how do you come to that? You know what I'm saying? How did you
Yeah,
come to that opinion? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean,
when you,
in your regular,
yeah, especially when you know the facts are. You know what I'm saying? When you know better. You know what I'm saying?
like I haven't this year, man. I haven't really talked about Trump this year. Haven't really got into that stuff, man, and just haven't really got into that stuff. But some of my black Republican friends, man, you just, hey, man, you have a right to believe what you believe, vote for who you want to vote for, and why you're voting for them, and all this good stuff. But sometimes, man, when you're talking to them and they telling you stuff, and you looking at them, and you go, okay, so it's about money for you. Oh, okay, it's about money for you. But aren't you a Christian or whatever you are? Yeah. Don't you go to old folks' home and feed, don't you go do things for the old folks' home? Yeah. Don't you got a church? Yeah. So let me get this straight. So you do all that, but you cool with somebody who inappropriately touched a woman, several women. You cool with somebody committing fraud against college students. You you cool with somebody breaking the law. So you cool with those things. And you just sit there and go, wow, that's
That's when see, I didn't I don't have a Trump question on my board, but you I've been trying to avoid Trump too. But my thing is when it comes to Trump supporters, people ask me why you vote
I
this
forgive
way.
them. Jenny, I forgive them.
Yeah. my thing is with Trump, I tell people your character is the first thing I look at. And once you don't pass the character test, there's nothing else I can do with you. There's nothing. Right. We couldn't even get to the policies because I can't get past his character.
Right.
So that's how I look at it. That's how I vote. You know what I'm saying? If your character matters, you know what I'm saying? There's nowhere else in America you can get a job with that character. Yeah. So why would we put him somewhere where you need good character?
Well, I forgive my Caucasian friends. I try to just not stick it to them anymore and say, look who you voted for. If you guys look on the news, I don't even look at the news like I used to, but if you look at the Capitol Hill, man, they were up there in droves, man. They were all on Capitol Hill, man. I'm talking about all my Caucasian Americans, man, and they are mad. They are pissed off, man. So the thing is our black friend Republicans is not to jump on them anymore. Is not to jump on our Caucasian friends. It's to simply say, hey, you voted for this. And guess what? A lot of us that are doing well, yeah, it might hit us a little bit, but we still gonna go to the grocery store. We still gonna get our eggs. We still gonna buy our cars. We still gonna get on our planes. We still gonna go on cruises. But for a little bit less than half of the country won't be able to do that stuff. So you voted for that, and I forgive you.
Well, good luck with that, man. So did you answer this question?
I did.
Okay, so we're gonna move on to the next question. You know what I'm saying? The next question is, this is one of your questions with him. Do you wonder if there's really a afterlife, and what does it hold? Do you really believe that do y'all really believe there's an afterlife? Like,
man,
do y'all really
believe
today,
it's
man. Something? I mean, these are questions.
That wasn't.
But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing, though. People.
You shortened it. That wasn't what I.
Okay,
Okay. So I know there is one. So the question.
Hold on. So you said what you just said?
It is you shortened the question.
You say you know there is one.
I do. I believe that.
You believe it?
Yeah. I mean,
I have what I'm trying to say. You believe it. You say you know there is one.
I know because I believe it. I believe it.
And ain't nothing wrong with that. That what
you know how like you just know you know that you know, even though I'm still here.
I get that.
Okay, so
that's what faith is all about. You believe it, but you don't know it. You know what I'm saying?
So the way that the question originally was, and I know you had to shorten it because it's kind of lengthy. Do you wonder about the afterlife, and do we ask ourselves, are we really afraid? Because we don't really know, you know what I'm saying? Like, are we confident about it, or are we kind of afraid? Because I think when you're here, you're living your life, your health is good, you ain't thinking too much about it. But like, do you
now when you say afterlife, are you saying like in
pass away
in respect of heaven or
like when
coming
you pass away.
Coming back as a bird or a dog or something like that?
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
So that's like that could be a part of reincarnation, but But I mean it in terms of your final destination of your before the Lord, and you're getting an understanding of, an assessment of how you live. So I believe that there is the afterlife, of course, because we're spirits. We're just here in these bodies right now. Um, Spirits live on. We just move from here to there. And like my question was, do we really feel confident about it, or do we get scared sometimes when we think about it? I mean, I don't know if other people think
I,
like when you're with yourself, like have you ever asked yourself, if I died right now, would I feel really confident about the state that I'm in to go on? Or do you get scared? I mean, and that's a fair question, because if you get scared, there's nothing wrong with being aware of that. It's just a question. I'm just curious
yeah. So my
because we
take.
don't know, you know.
So you just said you knew.
No, I
But
said what it holds. No, 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 no. I know that there's an afterlife. I said, what does it hold? So that's the question.
You trusting that it's the afterlife, and
I
you
believe
you
it.
believe in your heart.
I don't think it's just darkness and nothing.
But that's what faith is all about. You got faith. You
Yeah.
believe, but you don't know. You don't know now. Because if we knew certain things, we'll do certain things, right? So we live our life.
Like what way?
We live our life with the prospect that there is a heaven. We believe in our heart that there is a heaven. Either we felt God's presence and we believe it, but we haven't seen it. We don't know. And these are just things that I think about to myself. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I just believe that, because I'm not uncomfortable talking about it, so I'm gonna say it. I believe when we die,
What's up, Darren? What's up going on,
we're gonna
man?
go somewhere, because we're spirits. We will always exist. Period. So, you transition. I think that the whole walk of life it's like a big testing ground. You are born so that you can be refined, you grow, you change, you like a seed, you plant it, it grows, it goes through a lot of crap sometimes to get to the final stage of its perfection, and we have to go through that. Some of us gonna struggle more than others, but I just believe that innately, when we start getting closer to the end of our lives, we start thinking about it, because I think when our spirit, we know it's more to us than this realm.
Now, I don't want you to think that I don't believe it.
Oh, I don't
It,
think
it
that.
just I've been having a conversation with some guys at the park, and I asked them, do y'all question God? And they said, no, you're supposed to question God. I said, why? Why can't I question God? If God is the Father, I'm His son. If I got a question, who am I ask?
You can.
I'm gonna ask the
Him.
Father.
I don't think
You know what I'm
wrong
saying?
with that. I think you
But some
can.
people say, oh, you can't play with God. I mean, that's true. If I got a question, I'm gonna go to God. God, why this? You know
I
what I'm
think you just
saying?
have to respectfully in your prayer time talk
Ex-
and ask questions, because I don't think it's wrong to ask them questions, because you want to know something. Why wouldn't you ask? I mean,
You,
kids ask their parents stuff all the time, so
but we've been
why
taught.
wouldn't you ask God?
Don't question God.
I think they mean like I grew up on that too.
Have you heard that? Don't question God.
It's
I mean, why?
almost
He my father. If Larry Love and my dad, and if I got a question or something, I need to ask him, I go to my daddy. So if I got a question, why can I go to my father?
I mean, I think people may think, it's just my thought. I think people may think you don't question God because it's almost like you trust him. Like if this is the way he allows this to
Yeah.
go, then
I,
why are you questioning
I
him?
trusted my father, my biological father, but I still has a question. Trust ain't got nothing to do with you not knowing something and want to ask something. You know
Maybe
what
it's the
I'm
maybe it's
saying?
the maybe it's the attitude. So maybe it's the attitude of questioning. So
Okay.
so you can question God. You can ask him all the stuff you want. Job did it. He kind
How
of
long
got.
you think I'm crazy, man?
I don't think that. I love this. That's fine. I'm saying like you can question God, but not with the attitude like he don't know what he's doing. You can say, God, I don't understand. What is this? But I think when people say don't question, like don't come towards him with an attitude like you don't know what he's doing. I think that's what the tone of it is.
Mr. Love, what's your take? I know you say you don't want to talk about God and stuff.
Because I used to question stuff, not necessarily question him.
Hmm.
I used to question why I was in these stupid situations that I end up in. But a lot of times when you ask the question, you already know the answer.
Hmm. Yeah.
Um, I lost my career in the Navy. Well, I don't have to question God because guess what? I know why I lost it because I was acting a fool. I might have not liked how I lost it, when I lost it, but when they walked me out that gate after 11 years of being in the military since I was 18 years old, and now I'm 31, and I wasn't ready to leave, I was acting a fool. So I talk to my Lord all the time. Just it don't have to be on my knees. I be in my car just talking. I know sometimes people see me in my car talking. They're like, "Who?" I'm not even on the phone. Um, like I said, everybody has a story. All human beings has a story. Um, I lost my mom and my dad and my uncle all in 2012 to cancer. Like I told you guys before, I came down with cancer in 2013, got rid of cancer in 2014. Um, then had a couple of surgeries because when you take your prostate out, for men listening, other things start happening. So I had surgery. There's only 6 specialists in the United States that knew what I was going through. So in 2023, I had surgery in New Jersey. Last January, I just had another surgery. So I'm pretty resilient, pretty strong. I know that there's a higher power that's keeping me here. So I don't question. I I just go with what's going on, look at what I'm doing wrong and correct them, but I don't question anymore.
And that makes
I'm
sense
happy.
about, it makes sense about certain things. Like you don't have to ask God why certain things happen when you had your hand in what you did
And in the
for the
cookie jar, you had your
consequences of the
hand, yeah.
outcome. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
So
just common sense. Yeah.
and your
Yeah.
spirit, if you are truly, I got a friend, man. His dad was a preacher, and he has a seminary degree. He don't have to open no Bible. He can recite whatever. And if you truly who you say you are, your spirit talks to you as well as
Mm.
the devil talks to you.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
you've been knowing right from wrong ever since you were probably about 5 or 6,
Yep.
4, 3, 4, 5. So we know when we're wrong. We know when we're doing things wrong because we got the spirit talking to us and stuff like that. And if you don't have no spirit talking to you or inner something,
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know if you're human then.
Right. Right. I guess that's where that little thing come from with, like you say, the devil on one shoulder and the angel on the other shoulder.
Now, afterlife, what you're saying, um, yeah, when you're by yourself, you start thinking about those things because I remember my uncle said, "Hey, man, if you make it to 50 years old, man, half a century, man, you ain't got that much longer on earth." Now, you got as long as on earth as the Lord's going to keep you on earth, but I understood what he was saying. And that's kind of scary. And I always think about that. You're right, Jenny. I be somewhere and I'm like, man, if the Lord let me, I'll be 59. I'll be 59 in July. And then me and my wife be making all these plans, man. And then I be saying, well, damn, 59. And we do this and this and this for 5 years. My daughter and them just tell you, man, I'm gonna be 70 something. So you really start thinking about that stuff, and you be like, okay, how many years I truly really have?
Right.
I probably got about 25, 30 years, and then I need to be really healthy too.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
I actually be sitting here by myself thinking about, man, I'm gonna be gone one day because me and my wife was just talking about somebody's kid is 16. And I went, wait a minute, blah, blah, blah. Who had the baby? Blah, blah, blah. He's 16. It shows you
Mhm.
how time
Flies.
we we here on earth in a blip and then we're gone.
Yeah.
So that's scary because you sit here and be like, I'm 58 years old. And it is kind of scary because I'm like, man, I remember when I was 25, maybe
Mhm.
30, yeah. Man, I'm sitting up here, man, getting ready to be 59 years old, almost 60 years
Stanford,
old.
what's up, my brother?
And it's like, man, I'm gonna be out of here one day. Wow. Afterlife, I don't know. I don't know. But Jenny, I'm with you. I know, well, I don't know. I believe that we are a spirit in this body. I don't know where I go from here. I don't know nothing. I hope I live forever. That's what I hope because
Yeah.
living life is great. So um I always say I'm gonna live forever. I always tell my wife,
Yeah.
baby, I'm gonna live forever.
Mhm.
So that's what
Yeah.
I
Yeah, and I think about it because, like, I recently lost someone that I love, and I just, even with my mom years ago, I just remember thinking she was once here, and we talked. We would sit and talk about things, a variety of things, and when she was on her deathbed, I would read scriptures to her. She would ask me to, and she'd be like, I like that one, or and the reality of it, she's getting ready to leave this world. It just hit me, and I'm like, she was once here talking, moving around, and now I got
yeah.
her cell phone, I got all her things, and I'm like, she went somewhere. She didn't just, like, and I say that knowing that, as spirit beings, we're whatever life we lived here, there is something to answer to once we leave. So heaven and hell, all that, yeah, I think if we do believe in the word of God, then we understand that there is like kind of like our court system here. However, your sentence is according to all this stuff. And the way you live your life, there is an accountability to how you lived it. So we can't judge people. We can judge maybe things that they do and say, "Oh, that's not right." But we can't judge the person because only at the end will the outcome be understood for them and for ourselves when we stand before God. Because we never know what's going on in somebody's heart, and we never know the levels of deliverance a person has. So I guess what I'm saying is that I think about it because at some point, every person that I miss was once here, and I think about that. I remember when my mom passed, we had a videotape, we had a videographer, and I remember looking at it a couple of times. I try not to look at it too much, but I looked at it a couple of times. And a lot of the people that walked by, they're not here now. And I'm like, wow, it's everybody that walked by and looked down at her, there a lot of them are gone now. And it's just like we all got to get there. And so I just wonder, do we really sit down and think like, um, and have a concern, not like worry, but a concern about, am I really living, the life that I should be living, helping people, being a joy to people, to myself, my kids, whoever, making a difference where people are better after they've been around you, and is a person better after they've been around me, and genuinely, not just works, but like genuinely, like because that's who you are. Did you
well,
help
I mean,
people when they were down?
well that's the thing. I think the dude in the street, the woman in the street, I think everybody when they're by themselves, I really believe they think about one day they're not gonna be here.
Yeah.
They might not tell the truth on it, but you can't help but think about it. I mean, it's a part of life.
Yeah, it is.
So, I'm just happy. I'm happy. I'm just gonna live life. I'm gonna apologize when it's time to apologize. I'm gonna be around people that I need to be around. Don't be around people I
Mhm.
don't need to be around.
Right.
Try to stay as true to my wife and my marriage vows as I can. Is temptation is a lot, and men and women need to understand that it is, and it's a fight. I've been married 28 years. My marriage is basically on cruise control, but temptation is something else, and you have to make sure that you don't put yourself, and I'm speaking to the men, that you don't put yourself in position because we are weak creatures. So you have
Hold
to
on, hold
make
on, hold on,
sure.
hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. You talking to the men? Hold on, you gotta talk to everybody about this.
No, no, I'm just
I'm
saying
just
as
joking. I'm just joking, man.
I'm just saying as a guy, when I say weak, I'm talking about a whole lot of stuff. We just have to make sure that we be mindful of where we're at and what we're doing and what we're thinking. That's all.
Yeah, I feel you, brother.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sorry.
All right, next question. How often do you self-evaluate? How often do you self-evaluate?
All the time. All the time. That's all the time.
Yeah, every
All the
day for
time.
me, like every day, especially when I'm at work. I get to the end of the day, like I'm thinking I could have handled this better, you know. And you know, it's like in a moment. Sometimes I already know as it's happening, I need to should have did it this way. But then I have to say, okay, at least I acknowledge. And if I needed to readjust, you know, something, then if I had the grace to do it, I'd do it. I need to apologize, I apologize. But you know, I evaluate myself every single day, every day, every
I
day.
call it smelling your own. I call it smell your own crap. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
That's why when I said something about the preacher who I said something about earlier. Okay, what are your flaws? Because I think if I was a preacher, I would put all I see this is why I can't be a preacher because I put all my business out there. Because I can't talk about nobody else but me. I can't talk about nobody but me. And that's how I don't understand when I hear preachers, talking about another preacher. I mean, have you smelt your own stuff? You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
But
You know what
Robert,
I'm
you have
saying?
to understand. But
So
Robert, you have to understand. Robert, you have to understand because you see you get it twisted. Because somebody's talking about me, that don't mean they talking about me. See, I think people gotta see you and Jenny can be off the
if
air.
now I'm gonna disagree with you right there. If I put your name in something, I'm talking about you. You know what
No,
I'm
no,
saying?
but it's not because you and Jenny are talking about me without the cameras. That don't mean that it's bad. It
But
see,
let me say this: if I talk about if me and you both had some infidelity in our life, and if I talk about yours and I got one myself, who the hell am I? Why don't I just talk about mine?
no,
You
I
know what I'm saying?
understand that.
So basically, what I'm saying, if I'm a sinner, you're a sinner. Don't you think I can reach you better talking about my sin? Because
Okay,
this
but
is
you
you. You
just okay,
know
but
what I'm
you just
saying?
said, but what the scenario that you just said, you don't know, you don't really personally know if I've been an adulterer.
I don't know that.
Okay,
But
so you're speaking on
that was a
something.
hypothetical. I was saying
No,
it in
no, I know. I'm
hypothetical. You know what I'm
going with the
saying?
hypothetical. You see that guy you're talking about? I kind of like listening to that guy because see, a lot of times when people get a message, they want the message to fit and feel good how they want the message to come to them. Sometimes the message is gonna come uncut and raw.
Yeah, but it has to be uncut and raw about you, not nobody else. Because you
He
don't see,
talks about him.
you don't have a heaven or hell to put nobody in. So who am I to talk about your sins? I can only tell you about my sins.
I've listened to him
You know what I'm
before.
saying? And I know it's shock value. He does
Yeah.
that on purpose because he know what people saying about other people. So he use it too to talk about other people because he get likes. He like likes. He like people to like his stuff.
You know
So
why I like that man?
so
That man don't take no money from the church other than paying the light bill. That man has a job. He's an
that's
old
money.
school preacher.
That's money from the church.
No, he's an old school. You're right, but he's an old school preacher. He has real estate. He
Well, I
all the
don't know
money
much
that.
about him outside of
No,
outside
because
of
when
all
you were
that.
talking
Only
about it,
thing I know when you trying to get people to when you talking about the kingdom of God, I think you doing more damage to the kingdom of God than you helping the kingdom of God because you trying to. It's almost like you trying to get points. You having a sparring thing in the pulpit. I'm like,
dude,
dude,
we can't do no. See, I don't want to get. Let me stay with this self evaluation thing, uh,
yeah,
cause,
because you ain't gonna win. You ain't gonna. I'm because but it's okay to have two different views. You got a view. I got a view. It's okay to have your view. I'm not knocking your view about that. I'm just telling
No,
you
no, but we
how
can't
I feel
damage,
about it.
we can't damage nothing about God. Nothing. Man is down here damaging themselves. We can't damage nothing about God. We're looking like, I say we because I'm a part, we are looking like fools down here. He's looking at us. He's judging us. He's watching us. And he will forgive your sins if you go and get on your knees. But what I'm saying is, we can't do anything.
So,
Check this out.
but we can forgive each other though,
Well, that's
right?
a man
If,
thing that we need to do.
so that's my point. If we're Christ-like, if He can forgive us, why can't we forgive each other?
I'm with
Why
you.
would I?
That's man.
Why would I crap on you when you fall? That's not of God, right? That's not of God
Because
crapping on
that's
you when you fall. Because
okay.
I
But
don't
what
want
I'm
God to
saying is,
crap on me when I fall. I want Him to set me back when I get back. Help me get up.
okay, but you and I, we wouldn't do that. But again, you and I wouldn't do that. But that other human and that other human, they would. Like, check this out. Like, do God think his humans are perfect? No, he don't. Because he's the only one that's perfect. So he knows that we're flawed. He knows that we're not perfect. So, but he gave us the willpower and the brain and everything, and God like in us to be right. It's up to us to be right. But
So
but man is
I'm glad you said that. So if the guy we talking about, is he perfect?
no.
So why don't we know about what he do? Why don't he tell us what he do?
I just told you
It's
he's
a
in real
reason why
estate.
God don't want us to judge other people, because we got shit in our own bag. That's
Well,
my point. That's the point I'm trying to tell you. So why would a preacher crap on another preacher
well,
instead of
well.
going to the other preacher and say, "Hey man, look, let me help you get up." That's what God like people do, man. And
So
people
Robert,
listen to this guy like he getting points, because that's what we like that drama stuff, and he
Robert,
gives it to you,
Robert, do
but
you
it's
know
not
how?
from God. Trust
Do
me.
you know? But do you know how all that started? Because the
It
way
don't
he
matter how it
preaches.
started.
No, I'm getting ready to tell you. The way he preaches from the Bible, he preaches strictly from the Bible. And other people from other churches and stuff will say things about him. And then he would say, hey, well, then you need to have your preacher actually preach from the Bible and stop preaching certain things in the Bible. You know how many books in the Bible? But these churches around here only pick certain ones that they always preach out of. But I'm not gonna go there because I'm very blessed and the Lord is working in my life. So I'm not gonna get in that. But
But you
but what
want
I'm
to go.
saying,
You want to go.
but see, man, you made me lose my train of thought. But
But see, why I like having
Jenny,
these conversations, because I know people have thoughts, and they feel a certain way. You feel a certain way
okay, so
about it.
let me
I
ask
feel
you
a
this.
certain way about it. I feel
Okay,
like I don't gain them by putting another man down. I don't.
okay, let me ask
There's
you this.
nothing
Let me
godly
ask you
about
this.
that.
Let me ask you this. So tithing, because you're talking about the preachers. You're talking about the preachers. Now, I'm gonna go there.
You put my
I'm gonna
seatbelt
go
on.
there. Now, my thing about tithing, I know what the Old Testament said, and I understand what the New Testament said. I understand that. Now, but I don't. I believed in the Old Testament when God said, "Bring what you planted," and all that. I ain't gonna get into that. But the church of now has brought it about money, probably because people don't have farms and all this stuff to bring whatever. But I believe tithing is my good works, my good deeds. I don't have to give my money to no church. And guess what? I don't. I don't. I don't go to Sunday school. I don't go to no whatever they do on Wednesdays. See, I ain't for all of that. See, I'm for giving to Robert. I'm gonna go over Robert house and do something for him. Robert's gonna call me and ask me, and if I'm able to do it, I'm gonna do something for you. Tithing is me going out helping the Lord's people. Now, don't hit me wrong. I know the churches to gather in and all this, and you got some churches that's really doing a great job, and I'm not here to judge those churches or nothing. I'm simply saying that when they're in there getting this money from these people, and our people are giving their hard-earned money to these churches, and they can't pay their bills and stuff, and they can't do this. I'm not with that, and I don't believe in that. Well, just take your last and give it to the church, and you'll sow a seed, and it'll come back to you, and then they're out on the street. I don't believe that, and I'm just being honest. I don't
I,
believe that.
and I don't believe it either. But here's the thing. But here's where I step off on it. At.
Okay.
If they don't mind giving it, that's their issue. I can't argue Jenny giving money to a church. It's that what she. That's all. You don't want to give, but I'm not gonna crap on the pastor because people giving to him, giving into the church. That's their business. You know what I'm saying? If they like it, I love it. Put it
That's
like
what I
that.
said. That's what I'm saying. So I don't. But see, that's why I don't get into that, man, because people don't get it. People don't come in conversation with me about church. So they as soon as they see me and I'm sitting there, they talk to somebody else, because I always tell them I believe in the Lord. I believe in the church. I believe in the people that go to church. I believe that hopefully the pastor's doing the right thing, and I'm praying and hoping that he do the right thing. But Larry Gibson, my name, I ain't gonna be there. I'm gonna be in the street giving to the people. That's what I'm gonna be.
I know a lot of people don't go. They say the only time they go into church when they have to lay in it and lay in the box. And so,
Oh, I ain't even gonna be in the church in a box. I can tell you right now, I ain't gonna be in the church in a box. I told my wife, I said, you just cremate me, and you have a little urn, and at the funeral home there, you have a little sand or whatever, and let me. And I'm gone. We ain't doing all that. I hope that she
Okay,
do
Jen,
my.
you ain't spoke on this yet. So
I'm just listening. Like sometimes I just want to listen. You know,
No, it's fascinating that when you, like he said, when in this supposedly democracy, which we know that the United States of America is not really a democracy, it's a republic, and it's a
no, this is
corporation.
it's a scam.
It's a scam. It's a corporation
The
based run,
the American scheme.
right? The American scheme. But you you're here to do what you need to do. Find out what your purpose is. A lot of times, yeah, I was talking. A lot of times, people don't find out their purpose. When you find out your purpose, I think you'll be a little more happier walking on this earth.
mm-hmm.
And now, I'm actually walking in my purpose, um, doing a talk show, helping people, just loving on folks, talking to folks. I'm trying to be a speaker. I want to help people rent places and get food, and so I'm now in the purpose that I need to be in.
You're leaving something here.
Yeah.
You're leaving a legacy somewhere. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's should be everybody's person to purpose to leave when you come and leave something. You know what I'm saying? Leave it better than what you found it, even if
Yeah.
it's just in your little small look area. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm trying to do that, man. I'm like I said, we all battle with things, but I'm battling against it, man. I want to be nice to people, man. I know sometimes people say, man, that dude, that kind of mean, like my wife said. But I'm trying to be nice to people, man. I'm trying to just be a good person, man, and leave a legacy for my kids, man, and stuff like that. Trying to do the right thing, man. You know, sometimes it get a little rough, but guess what, man? We have the willpower to do it. Yeah.
All right, go ahead, Jenny.
No, I was just really listening,
How
taking it
often
all
do you
in.
self-evaluate?
I do. Like I say, I do every day because I realize that everything that I do or not do, it impacts or affects somebody's life. Like it just
Yeah.
does. And I have to remember that it ain't all about me and how I feel and all that stuff. So um I look at it like this, like I'll tell people, there if you are being mean to somebody or you're, treating them a certain way that's just not respectful, there are other people attached to that person. Like there are people that care about their person, and you don't know the trickle down effect that has or the domino effect it has. Just be good to people. It doesn't cost you anything to be good to people. You know, you can't buy people. So I'm not talking about, lavish people with gifts, but I'm saying the gift of having just respect for a person. The gift of if you can be of help and support to a person, then do that. Um, because I think a lot of times when we do go through life and just say a person, pass away and no longer here, I, this is me. I'll think back and I'll say, and I wish I had did more of this. I wish I had gave them more hugs, or I wish I could have encouraged them or just been available when they called me. It's almost like you start thinking about what you could have did or could have done. So when you have the opportunity, you just always think about the effect you have on other people. You know.
That's it. That's it. Yep.
Yeah, I self evaluate daily, man. And sometimes like I was talking about, sometimes I be wanting to respond to some videos I see of that pastor. Then right before I get to hit the send button, I say, nah, man, don't. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not gonna bust these people bubble. If this is what they like, this is what they like. You know what I'm saying? Who am I to come in and say otherwise? You know what I'm saying? So I've learned to self-evaluate. I used to comment on a lot of stuff that I disagreed with, but then I learned like, who the hell am I? You know what I'm saying? Like, who the hell am I to, you know what I'm saying? If these people like it, they like it. You know what I'm saying? I just get my source from somewhere. I get my Bible stuff from somewhere else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of he's kind of like one of those people. Like
I didn't mean to. I'm not talking about him. I'm just saying.
No. I'm finna say something that makes sense. I think it's like he's kind of like you love him, but you hate him at the same time. Like, and I say that not like literally, but it's like I was listening to him one time, and I was like, oh, he's telling the truth. Like I hear him,
Yeah,
and sometimes I'm like, oh, okay, he ain't trying to like make it all surface sweet.
He's telling the truth by the Bible. He's well versed in the Bible,
right?
But he's not to me. He's not of God.
Well, I'm gonna say this.
A lot of people can read the Bible. And this is the biggest trick of the devil. He knows how to read.
Yeah, well,
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, so he does know the word. I give him that, and I've listened to him, and I'd be like, oh, okay, yeah, that just reminded me of some things that maybe I need to do or not do. The harshness, though, is what I had a problem with. Let me give you an example.
You should never be talking about harshness when it comes to a man of God.
I know,
and that's my point. How can you be talking about harshness in the same sentence with a man of God?
Well, let me explain so people can maybe know where my example is. I feel you. So he was talking one time about women wearing fingernail polish, and I was like, oh my God. Like, he was saying y'all walking around looking like clowns with all these different colors on your fingers, and you shouldn't be wearing fingernail polish anyway. And I remember thinking, like, oh my God, like, and I felt bad because at the time my fingernails were polished, and I was like, Lord have mercy. Like, I feel like I'm gonna go to hell for wearing fingernail polish. So that's why I say his delivery can be harsh, but he's telling the truth. And at the same time, it's like, okay, I don't know if I can stomach some of his delivery, but I'll give it to him. He do tell the truth. I do think he is harsh sometimes with certain things. Like, he'll kind of say insulting things, like,
I think
and that's the part that
I think a lot of it is opinion. You know what I mean? We talk about the Bible, and I think a lot of stuff in the Bible is how you perceive it, in my opinion. But we ain't going down that road, so that's another show. You know what I'm saying? You know how I feel about the Bible. I believe the Bible is a inspirational document.
It's a guide.
Inspirational document.
It's a guide.
No, it's a guide.
It's okay. It's okay. You can have your guide, but it's inspiration to me. You know what I'm saying? It's inspiration to me. You know what I'm saying? Because the Bible, because they tell you it's inspired word by God. It didn't say God wrote this Bible.
Well, right. It can inspire you.
That's my opinion. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sticking with it.
Stick with it, then.
And God spoke to me. I talked to God, man. He said, "You on to something, boy. I'm bigger than this."
It should inspire you. It is a guideline too. It tells you how you need to be, because sometimes we don't know. Like, we just don't know. we have a sense of right and wrong, but at the same time, it's like anything else. You need to be told this is what you should do. It's like directions. Like when
Yeah.
you get directions,
Obey your master. Yeah.
or
We,
well, I
we
ain't
need
talking
to
about
obey
that
our
part.
master.
Like if you have directions for something, it tells you this is what you need to do so it can work properly. Blah blah blah.
But
So I think
I say,
God
I just say we even go down that road because I'm gonna keep saying little snide remarks.
I know you
You know,
are.
I'm gonna keep saying little
I already
snide
know you
remarks.
are.
I mean, you know what
I
I'm
already
saying?
know you are.
Because I'm gonna say, because they say it's been some books added. They say it's been some books taken away. So if it's not complete, how is this God? If it's not complete, why are
Okay.
we reading
Next
something that's not
question.
complete?
Well, we have to
You know what I'm saying?
remember that man wrote the book. And
Thank
then,
you. So let's move
King-
on. Man wrote it. Let's go. Let's move on. I'm trying to get y'all now. I'm trying to let you have you. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to let you have you. But I read the Bible, and I be inspired by the Bible. But I still got to move like God is bigger than this book.
Oh, of course.
Man took some
Yes,
away.
it is.
Man added some. Man changed some words and made it a slave. It been so much stuff done to the Bible. You just got to believe. You just got to have that spirit in you.
Well,
So when you read the Bible, you gotta know what you're reading. You gotta feel it.
of course.
You know what I'm saying?
I'll cap it off with this if I may. I don't worry about what's been added and taken away because God already said something about that in Revelation. He said
yeah,
those who take away, those who add to it, they're gonna get dealt with. So I don't worry about that part. I don't.
yeah,
Don't worry about it.
Okay. Let's move
yeah.
on.
Yes, let's move on.
So yeah, I self-evaluate, man. So I just believe in a man should check himself.
Sure.
Check your damn self. Don't quit worrying about the next man and check your damn self.
Well, that's just a human.
That's just how I feel like every man should. If every man check himself, every man will be checked.
Every man ain't gonna check himself. We are human,
Thank
man,
you.
on this earth.
And
We are human.
and you know
And
why every man you won't check himself because he too busy to checking another man.
well, I don't know about all that, but I do know one thing. When you talk about that preacher, there are other preachers that is just as worse as him. I didn't want to go there,
But
but
listen to what you said though. Just as
no,
you
worse.
put worse in it with him. Just
No,
as
no,
worse. What
no.
you saying? He's worse. He's
What I'm
bad,
saying
but
is,
some worse. It's like
but
Trump. Trump is
no,
horrible. He's a rapist.
some people might think. What I meant to say was, some people might think that there are other preachers, like the people that like him, might think that there are other preachers not as good as him or better than him or don't know what he know. I try not to get into that stuff, man, because like Jenny said, uh, the Lord has already said, fake prophets, false prophets is just going to start coming up all over the place.
Thank
So
you.
all these people
Thank
that's talking
you.
about they
That's my
standing in
point.
the, I'm getting ready to get a church. They done put they picture of their wife on the
Yeah.
poster up there on the
Yeah.
thing, and
That's my point.
they're in a plaza. They done bought the 3 spaces to get a church, and you say, why? I be like, why you getting a church now? And you in your late 40s? Why y'all doing a church now? I don't know why God told them to go ahead and do a church now. Whatever, that's their business, or whatever. But it's so much, church is so much business now
Mm-hmm.
that
Yep.
I hang my hat on and my mind on when I'm listening to my spirit and I'm listening to what I'm being told. So I don't down the church. I don't down the people that go to church. I just want the people that go to church to not down me, like you said. Respect
As
how I
thank
feel,
you. See.
respect how I feel. And I respect, but I actually respect how they feel because I grew up in the church. What I'm saying is the church is not me. God is in me. So I don't have
I
to
feel
be in a church. And Jesus never told nobody to go within 4 walls.
That is
So
true.
so if we start doing all this, and I'm not even, man, I don't even really read the Bible. So, and sometimes I don't even know why I know things. But my friend who's in the church said, because God pours it in you. He said, because I heard you a lot of times say, I don't know how I be knowing things. He said, because God is looking down on you and he's pouring things into you. So we can sit and talk, whatever, man, but it's going to be your belief. Like Jenny said, it's going to be something that you actually have faith in, that you believe in, that you can hang your hat on, and you're going to have to stick by what you believe and what you think. And then when the end come, we will see
Right.
what you're right. Oh, you thought you was right.
Right.
Yeah.
What is your definition of success?
Yeah. What is your definition of success? What is y'all definition of success? Those out there watching.
Wow. Wow. I say a healthy life. I say able to take care of yourself, help take care and provide for your family. Because you can look at businesses and you can be successful at something that you focused on. Like, I don't know if Jenny is a nurse or a teacher or whatever. So success can be uh, job related, goals, college. Everybody looks at success different. So I don't know.
Mm.
Well, that's a good answer. I think success is, like whatever it is that you may want to accomplish that could be not even material or or something that is something to have done, but more so like maybe overcoming things. Like because if you've had challenges in your health, um, a success is you've overcome that issue or those things and you have a healthy lifestyle of eating. That's success.
That's success.
um because the food is what it is. It can be terrible and addictive, and we just feel like as long as we pray over it, it's fine. But success is for somebody, I accomplished something that was difficult for me, so it doesn't even have to be about money.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. My take on success is the feeling of being satisfied with something you set out to do.
That's good.
The feeling of being satisfied with something you set out to do. If I set out to do an album, I completed that album. This it's a success.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I might not get a Grammy, but hell, that's a
Yeah.
success to me because I did it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That's how I see success. When I set a goal, like a health goal, when I see you know what I'm saying, the progress of that materializing, that's success.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be Lou Ferrigno, the Incredible Hulk, but look, I'm in a better place than where I used to be. I'm successful.
Yeah.
In that, you know what I'm saying?
and I get it. Like I was thinking about like the food thing. I know I make jokes and stuff, but like success for me is overcoming eating little Debbie cakes and snack cakes and Wonder cakes at my job. I'm like, I can turn them things down. I'm doing really good.
Yeah. You're right.
But see,
You're
do it
right.
take a lot of work to do that? Or do you just if that's something you can just stop?
No.
But see,
Because
what
when
I'm
you
saying-
got
but here's what
10,
I'm
no,
saying.
listen, when you got 10 kids, how about you? Help me with this and blah 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 and all this stuff, and you seeing a stack of Wonder Cakes sitting up there on the shelf, you're like, I'm not ready to eat one.
Oh, what I'm
I
talking
mean,
about.
body be feeling it.
But what I'm
Like,
talking about, working out, getting
that's all a part of
getting
it.
your body defined.
That's all a part of
That
it.
entails work. You got to put some
Sugar
work
and you
in to
and
get
the
there.
work is
You know what I'm
saying no to the sugar and all that stuff that make your body clumpy and fat.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I mean, because you get on a roll and I know me. I get on a roll and I'd be like, okay, I eat this the Wonder Cake. So I have to be like, I just eat a celery stick today. Like, and I don't beat myself up if I do eat a Wonder Cake. But what I'm saying is that success for me is I can say no to it, so I can stay on this healthy journey of taking care of my body. Because I mean, everything that you do is either you're gonna feed it or you're gonna starve it. And I want to feed what I want to make. You know, for I want to feed the successful part of myself, which is having a healthy body, and I'm gonna do everything I can. I'm
Yeah.
short of what I can't control.
Yeah.
So,
Well, all right, y'all. So success, man, to me, I think is just get into a place of satisfaction and completing some things, some goals that you set for yourself,
Yep.
and seeing them materialize.
Yep.
That's success for me.
Mhm.
Whether it's in education or
Mhm.
whatever field you in on your job or whatever, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Where are you trying to get to in life? You know.
Okay, so y'all. So the next question is not a question. It's a review. I told y'all by the end of this show, we're gonna talk about this movie called Sinners. It's
Great movie.
ironic we talking about
I haven't
sinners.
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen
No,
it.
we're not gonna talk. We're not gonna talk about what we know about it. We're just gonna, you know what I'm
It's
saying?
a really good
We're just gonna,
movie.
you know, say the little stuff. You know what I'm saying? So this movie called Sinners, man, starring what his name? What the guy name?
Michael B. Jordan.
Michael B. Jordan. Michael B. Jordan. We just gonna show the trailer, man.
I've been all over this world. I seen men die in ways I ain't even know was possible. Hey, brother, be careful. I will. With all the things that I've seen, I ain't ever seen no demons, no ghosts, no magic. Till now. To get back inside. Let me in, man. Some weird shit going on out here. You keep dancing with the devil. One day he's gonna follow you home.
So yeah, man. So we watched the movie Sinners last night. We on the Fire Stick. We didn't go to the movie, but I wish I would have went to the movie to saw it. But it's a really good movie. I'm trying to see what kind of movie it put me in the mind of. Man, but it has a lot of hidden messages within that movie. That if you just go on watching the movie, you're gonna come away saying, "Oh, it's just a movie about vampires." But you're gonna miss all the nuggets that's in that movie. You know what I'm saying? So what was your, without saying anything, you know, like
Yeah, I think from the beginning, like as soon as because I know for me, as soon as I saw the first scene, I'm like, what is that about? Like, because it seemed like it was something to it. So, like from the beginning, just look for meaning and symbolism in everything from
Yeah.
the people, the just all of it. I don't even want to say because I feel like I might say something to give it away, but it's a really good movie and it's very thought provoking throughout the whole thing. Like it's a really good movie. I would watch it again.
I'm
So
gonna see if my wife. I'm gonna see if we can watch it tonight if she don't get sleepy.
yeah, it's a good watch. Yeah, I would. She'd probably go to sleep like me.
Is this?
If I watch a movie after 9 o'clock, I'm going to sleep.
Well, you know what? I ain't even gonna ask her. I ain't even gonna ask her because she's down. Because she's downstairs now on the treadmill. She's probably in the sauna by now. Yeah, she ain't gonna stay up. So yeah.
It's a good watch, man. You know what
it's
I'm saying?
worth watching.
I
Yeah.
recommend it. You know, since there's a lot of hidden messages in it. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So yeah, so we recommend Sinners to y'all, not
All
because
right.
you are sinners.
Yep,
Because
that's
it's a
true.
movie.
Yeah.
But man, look, we appreciate you coming on, man.
Yes. Yep.
We gonna shut down, man. This was a good show tonight, man. Appreciate you coming on.
Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, so we just appreciate you coming on, man. You know, sharing your thoughts, man. You know, ain't nothing wrong with having a different opinion with people, man. You know.
No. Opinions are. I love it, man. That's what I
Yeah,
base
but
my
some
show
people,
on.
you know, you if you have a different opinion than some people, man, they won't talk to you no more.
Well, my show. That's how my show started. Your opinion matters, and at the end of the day,
Yeah.
it's all about love. So you know,
Mhm.
we all got opinions, and but that is just what it is, an opinion. So no,
Absolutely, man.
I don't take too much. I don't take anything really, too much stuff serious now, man. I mean, life is really, uh, life is really nice, man. Right now in my life, and I'm good, man.
We've been trying to do we've been trying to do a lot of healthy living, man, lately, and and really it feels like a spiritual journey.
Yeah,
Eating
yeah.
healthy, it feels like a spiritual thing. And I point out to Jenny in the Bible, Genesis what Genesis what is
I don't know the exact um chapter, but it just gives a description of what how the food was designed for us, what was meant for us to eat.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I think Genesis 1:26. I want to say Genesis 1:26 is where you're gonna
Okay.
find that passage. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I'll go look that up before I go to bed.
Just read 1:26 through 1:26 through 29.
All right, I got you. I
So,
got you.
so like I said, the Bible is very inspirational, man. So, hey, man, good to see you again, my brother. Good to see
Hey,
you
you
again, my
too.
brother. I be
All
getting your
right.
text, man. I read them. You know what I'm saying? I got the message about your shindig.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. They did pretty good, man. I went down there and showed my face and everything, but they was down there. They was set up and they sold all the liquor but 2 bottles.
oh yeah.
Yeah, I barely drink, man. I mean, I I don't even call myself a drinker. I barely drink, but when I do drink, my friends laugh at me because they say I mess up alcohol because I got to mix it with Coke or Sprite or juice or something, and so I'm not really. And then I might hold a drink, have it in my hand, and if they
Hey.
know it's too hot for me to drink or something. So, um,
Yeah.
and this new alcohol, this is the first one that I can actually drink straight, and I don't. All I do is sip on it. So I've never really been a drinker, man. I'm a social type drinker. My wife has never really been a drinker. We don't smoke, so you know I sip here and there. Oh,
Awesome,
y'all,
man.
Yeah.
I gotta go. The wife, baby,
All
we
right,
gonna
perfect
watch
time.
Sinners. I said, baby, we gonna watch Sinners. She said, yeah. Y'all know we're not watching Sinners tonight. Not watching Sinners tonight. But hey,
All
y'all
right,
have a wonderful night.
Yes,
Catch
all
y'all
right,
appreciate your
later.
man. Tell
time.
your wife I say
Yeah.
hello, man.
Yeah.
All right, man.
All
All
right,
right.
See
bro.
y'all later.
Good night.
Peace.
Peace.
All right, y'all. We appreciate y'all for tuning in with your boy and your gazelle. Give y'all a hand. Yeah, man. Listen. And once we shut this down, y'all still can share this live. Y'all still can go back and watch it. You know what I'm saying? What we talked about. We just had a little show today, man. We just talked up some questions that be on people's mind. Miss Diane, nice show. Good night. Good night, Miss Diane. Sleep tight.
Good night.
Yeah, so you got anything to say for we part ways?
Just be mindful that everything we talk about is to help you as we help ourselves to just think to be, better, be a better person in everything you do. And just take care of yourself so you can take care of others too.
And remember, if y'all know anybody who has a book they want to talk about, who's doing something small in a big way,
Yes.
we want to holler at them. Tell them we want to holler at them. You know what I'm saying? Tell them holler at your boy and your girl.
Yes.
And y'all go check out that movie Sinners, man, because we gonna review it. We gonna talk about it. We gonna talk about what's really happening in
Yeah.
that
It
movie.
was
We
a
gonna
lot
review
in
it.
it.
We ain't gonna tell y'all
Yeah.
what's going on right now, but next we gonna give y'all a week to go watch Sinners.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we're going to come back and talk about it next week, man. So listen again. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Thanks y'all for sharing,
Yes.
commenting. We love y'all. And guess what? Tell them, Jenny.
It ain't nothing y'all can do about
Ain't
it.
nothing y'all can do about it. Peace,
Bye.
love, and soul.